With millions of Americans still struggling to navigate COVID-19 and its impact on the economy, the IRS has elected to once again push back the deadline to file tax returns. The new May 17th deadline will give taxpayers an extra month to get paperwork in order, as many face an array of new and potentially complicated tax issues due to the pandemic. To help us break this all down, I want to bring in accountant Dan Geltrude. Dan, thank you so much for joining us. The IRS extending the filing deadline, but should taxpayers stick to the original filing date or take advantage of the extension? What do you think?
It really depends. So if you follow the general rule, which is if you are going to be due a refund, you want to file your tax return as soon as possible. And keep in mind that the IRS processes those refunds on a first in, first out basis. So you want to get in on a timely basis, also by filing electronically and requesting an electronic payment into your bank account. You will be able to accelerate getting your refund as opposed to filing a paper tax return.
So obviously we're in a pandemic. What about Americans that are waiting to receive those much needed stimulus checks?
Well, as it pertains to filing, there's been a lot of talk about people holding back their tax returns in order to qualify potentially for more stimulus with those checks coming out, the $1,400. So the rule there is that if you have made the same amount or less than what you had made in the past, file on time. If you've made more, you may not qualify for that stimulus check, and therefore you may want to wait until the May 17th deadline in order to file your tax return.
So if a person owes the IRS, why is it important for them to pay by the original deadline of April 15th?
Well, the payment has been extended for with your tax return to May 17th. You want to make sure that you file on time with that date, because if you don't, you are subject to penalties and interest. And there's no sense in paying the IRS anything more than you have to. If you cannot make the payment for whatever reason, you simply don't have the money, you still want to file your tax return. Don't assume that you could not file and it's okay. It's not okay. File your tax return and then work out an arrangement to pay your taxes as quickly as you possibly can.
And for those taxpayers who received a stimulus check and unemployment benefits, are there any repercussions they will face when filing their taxes?
Well, the one thing that you want to take a look at this year that's a little bit different than the past is if you are married, you want to have your tax preparer take a hard look at whether you should file married filing jointly or married filing separately. A lot of that pertains to the unemployment, which is not going to be taxable, up to $10,200. So the cap on that, the earning cap, is the same whether you're single or married. So that's why you want to look at how you file to maximize how much you potentially get back from the IRS.
And what can people do, or be doing rather, to help offset costs next year as the economy improves?
Well, look, we know that there's going to be changes in the tax code. Is that going to be effective in 2021 or 2022? We don't know yet. But you always want to be aware of what your tax position is at all times. Many of the tax deductions went away with the Trump tax plan. So a lot of things are no longer there. However, you still want to do things like maximize what you contribute into your retirement plan, whether it's a 401k or an IRA, because that is a great way to save for the future, and you still get the tax benefit for it.
Some really important information and insight. Dan, thank you.
Thank you.